Hey, Pretty Girl Club. This is episode 2 of Are Your Hairstyles Male Centered? And I want to talk about this because I noticed that when I posted the first video on this, people didn't want to comment or they didn't have anything to say, or some people would try to go on there and basically derail the conversation. And I had to block a lot of people because it seems like people who are doing their hairstyles for the male gaze, it seems like I struck a nerve. All I was asking in that video, and all I'm asking today is it possible that certain women out there could potentially be styling their hair a certain way so that they can attract the male gaze, or because they think this is what black men like, this is what white men like, this is what rich men like, this is what rappers like? Have you ever noticed how when the conversation gets too real, people start to derail the entire talking point? This reminds me of a video that I posted recently where I was like, is it possible for dark-skinned black women to be colorists? Or is it possible for dark-skinned black women to have an inferiority complex about their own skin tones, and so they purposely chase after any man who is lighter than them? All I said was, is it possible that this could ever be the case? All kinds of people were randomly coming into my comment section trying to answer a different question or derail the talking points. And I've noticed that a lot of people, when they have something so deeply ingrained in them, when you challenge it, people don't even want to acknowledge it. They want to pretend like it doesn't exist. But when it comes to this hair topic, I believe that it is possible that some women are male centered when it comes to their hairstyles. Because, for example, if you think that men like slick down baby hairs and sleek edges and straight edges and hair that is fine and silky, then that could potentially influence you to do that hairstyle because you want the male attention that comes with having that hairstyle. Let's talk about edges, by the way. What is the obsession with slicked down baby hairs and slicked down edges? I believe that a lot of women who do these hairstyles, especially if you don't naturally have these hairstyles, I do believe that there is a potential that certain women can be trying to go after the male gaze, or maybe they're defined by the male gaze, or maybe deep down inside, those women feel like sleek edges look better than their own natural edges. I know, not all. If you're a part of the not all police, as a matter of fact, that phrase has actually been banned from my channel, so you'll automatically get banned if you try to use that phrase. But is it possible that people could have inferiority complexes based on the male gaze or based on their hair textures? And is it possible that people attempt to change their physical appearance in hopes that it will attract more male attention? Because you guys know what I've said on this channel about how beauty is social power. So I do believe that if you are a woman who feels like you don't have any social power, like not even beauty, like nothing, then yes, for some women, I can see how that would cause them to feel like they have to try to attain beauty by whatever means necessary, because they feel like outside of this beauty, outside of me having these slick down edges or this bust down, outside of that, I have nothing else going for myself. I don't have any power in society. I don't have any power in my own life. I don't have any pretty privilege. I'm not privilege stacking. I'm just trauma stacking. So I do believe that sometimes women attempt to use beauty as a shield from trauma, or they think that beauty will shield them from the traumas of how men sometimes treat women. I think that some women, especially if they've never had pretty privilege, they have this mindset of, if only I can attain pretty privilege, then all of my problems in relationships will be solved, or I will suddenly have all of these options. I'll have a lot more options. And it's like, okay, even if you're a woman with endless options, 99.9% of those options are dusties. So it's like, is that really having more options? Is that really what you want? You guys have heard me talk on this channel about the nature of a lot of men and how a lot of the beliefs that women have about men are completely false if you take into account things like statistics, if you take into account things like culture and logic. A lot of the beliefs that you have about men anyway are false. But what do you ladies think? Is it possible that women could potentially be doing certain hairstyles because they feel like those hairstyles will get them more attention from men versus their natural hair? It's a simple yes or no question. What do you ladies think? Let me know in the comment section and I'll talk to you next time. Stay pretty, ladies.